So I'm out here in this rainy, snowy, sleety mix in Virginia, and this is very unpleasant. So initially when I was going to start this stream, it was snowing this morning. And it was beautiful and not too cold, and now it's progressively gotten rainy and gross. So I'm out here with my boots on, and I have an umbrella, so we'll see how this goes. I have a feeling this is going to be a very short stream. So we're out geocaching in northern Virginia. It is the first snow of the season, and it has sort of just turned into sleet and rain kind of all at once. So I have my rain boots and my umbrella with me. I have a feeling it's not going to be a very long stream. The cold I don't mind, the snow I don't mind, the rain I don't mind. But when you put them all together, that's one heck of a combination. I'm out here with rain boots. So I'm going to take you guys on this trail to a cache I've been to before. It runs along this bike trail kind of out behind the woods. I hope everybody's having a good Thursday. We're kind of at that sweet spot with the snowy slush where it hasn't quite begun to ice over yet, but the chances of me wiping out on stream are a little bit high because I'm walking a little bit slower. It's gonna be a little bit longer than anticipated to get to this cache, but the cache is a micro laid out along this bike trail out behind the woods here. Pretty much all of the East Coast this week is getting slammed with their first snowfall of the season. It was beautiful snow this morning, and just a couple hours ago it just turned into this wet, mushy nonsense. But it was like a winter wonderland just a couple hours ago. So I'm out geocaching, which is like a worldwide treasure hunt. And what I like about it, especially this is kind of topical with the weather, is you can do it in any season. I think it just depends on your ability to withstand the changing temperatures as we sort of move into winter. So I think this rain-snow combination is going to go through part of tomorrow as well. It's pretty, yeah, it is deserted out here. I don't think it's just because of the hour. This is usually a bike trail, and I don't think a ton of people are using it as a bike trail today. Sort of an unpleasant thing to figure out halfway through your walk in the snow and the rain, but apparently one of my rain boots has a hole in it, so this will be fun. So I know kind of a question that's been posed on past streams is, in what kind of weather do I go geocaching? And the answer to that is, I'll go geocaching in any kind of weather for as long as I can stand it. I hope other travel and outdoors streamers will keep going outdoors during the winter. Winters in the DC area can be pretty mild. If anyone's willing, because my hands are a little bit cold, I would greatly appreciate it if you could do !weather and see what Nightbot says about the weather right now in DC. So we're heading out to a micro cache. It's a magnetic key holder container out on this bike trail. Oh my gosh, it's like I'm not even wearing boots at all. My socks are absolutely soaked. Sorry about the traffic background noise. We're about 5 minutes away from the cache. And we'll break away from the road here. It's a jogger. A brave soul. There's also a new cache that was placed about 2 weeks ago, and I saw it and I wanted to go get it, but I had this inner conflict about should I wait until we're on stream to get it. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is just get it probably either tomorrow or one of the days this weekend. I think it's going to be a little bit of a hike to try and do it there today, and I'm a little bit nervous about, well, slipping, and also it feels like I'm just walking in my bare feet out here because apparently one of my rain boots has a hole in it. That's alright, I'm rugged. So, the magnetic key holder cache is along here. It's attached to one of the metal benches toward the end down here. Maybe I can make it to that new cache today. That would be pretty awesome. So, keep an eye out over here, underneath one of these benches. I think it's under here. There it is. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera, but there it is. It's just a little bit, it stands out just a little bit. You wouldn't know it was there unless you were looking for it. There it is, and inside is just the log. Alright, let's keep moving. I have my umbrella out, not so much for me, but more for protecting the camera. Sorry if you can hear me sniffling in the background. That can't be great. But yeah, I have a selfie stick now. Gone are the days of the broken tripod. Look at that extension. So we're gonna walk up one of these busy streets, and from there head off to the newly placed cache that was placed a couple weeks ago. I think I can make it through this parking lot. Practicing street smarts at all times, right? I'll flip you back around. Alright, protect the camera again. So you can see where we were. I'll get over to the side here. Where we were was just up behind that garbage bin, I suppose. Yep. So we're gonna have to endure a little bit of background traffic noise before I can get to a side street that'll take us to where the newly placed cache is. So I was caching in the woods this past weekend, which is, it's fun. There are a lot of perks to caching in the woods, like no muggles and you go undisturbed for a long period of time, but the navigation gets a little bit screwy because you're in the woods. Out here it's a lot more clear cut. Shotgun Efficient, how's it going? We're out doing a little bit of urban caching today in Virginia, where we're having our first snowfall of the season. The East Coast is about to get slammed, so it was snowing earlier and now it's kind of this rainy, snowy, slippery mix. Sorry about the traffic noises. We'll get away from it soon. How's your Thursday going? Alright, we're going to get off the main road here in a second, so that'll get rid of some of this background traffic noise. So far, we walked down a bike trail that's pretty slippery to go scope out a magnetic key container cache. Found that, which is pretty cool. I'm out here in rain boots with an umbrella and a winter jacket and a winter hat because my commitment to the mission is strong. But we're gonna go find a new cache that was placed about 2 weeks ago. And I'm out here with the new selfie stick, so I'm still trying to figure it out a little bit. Sorry for the intermittent shakiness, but the good thing is the broken tripod is gone. I'm really just trying to protect the camera from the rain with this umbrella, but it's not really doing its desired job. I think this light might be broken. This weather is gross. I thought about bringing my dog out here with me, but it's definitely too gross for him. He was not going to tolerate it. Alright, I'm going to go for this next light. we're going. Look at this guy parked in the middle of the sidewalk. So I'm not quite sure who's in chat right now, but if someone could do me a solid and hit !weather so Nightbot will tell us the conditions in DC, I would greatly appreciate it. My fingers are a little bit too frozen right now. So you can see in DC, Virginia area, the colors are still kind of changing. Hey, thanks, Caxax. Rain, temperature of 35 degrees Fahrenheit, wind is blowing. Oh, solid, all right. Humidity is 89%. Well, I got that just about right. Yeah, so the leaves are changing at a much slower pace than they were in New England this past weekend. The leaves are just beautiful, and we were stepping on mostly leaves that had fallen from the trees, but here they're moving at a much slower pace, which is what makes this weather so strange. Is usually wouldn't start or expect snow until around December around here, but there's snow on the ground and the leaves are still turning. So I'm headed off to a cache that was placed about 2 weeks ago. It's still pretty new. It was placed by someone who places a lot of caches in this area, and actually this is the same cache owner who placed the hardest cache I've ever found, which I definitely want to show you on stream at some point. Gotta get that umbrella back up. So I haven't been to this cache before, so we'll see how it goes, how difficult it is. I believe it's in a park, so I want to show you some more of this awesome foliage. Look at that, it's wild. Red and yellow leaves falling in the snow. My gosh, it's so slippery. If I wipe out on stream, how ridiculous would that be? First time here. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining. So I am a geocacher. Geocaching is an international treasure hunt run by a company. Anyone can participate. If you go to geocaching.com or you get the geocaching app, you'll see where there is hidden treasure all around you, your neighborhood or wherever you travel to. So on this stream, I just take folks out and show them where geocaches are wherever I'm traveling. Right now I'm in Virginia, in the DC area, and show them where caches are and talk about the caching community. It's really fun. Definitely check it out if you're interested, or just hang out on the stream in the chat. I've been blessed with ridiculously good weather today, as you can see. Yeah, it's a new stream. I started this 2 weeks ago. So definitely throw me a follow if you're interested. But I was up in Massachusetts last weekend doing caching there. Before that, in and around the DC area. And what I like about it is that I can do it in any season. So I'll definitely still be on these little treasure hunts throughout the winter. Yeah, so I've been geocaching for 11 years on and off since I was about 13. And only... Oh, hey, thanks for following, Caxax. I only got back into it really seriously in September of this year. Kind of remembered, oh yeah, that thing I like to do out in the outdoors. Should get back into that more seriously. In a second here, I'm going to have to pull out my phone and look at the map. I'll show you what the geocaching app looks like and how you can find out where there are caches near you. But the geocaching game has only been around for about 18 years. I say only. I know that sounds like a long time, but, you know, football's been around a heck of a lot longer. So it started after GPS technology was made available to the public by the government, specifically the military. I won't bore you with the history too much, but the company that runs the geocaching game is called Groundspeak, and they're based out of, I believe, Seattle in Washington. There are over 3 million caches placed worldwide. It's wild to look at the map, including on the International Space Station and Marianas Trench. So I say we'll all just go in on a submarine and just go down there and retrieve it. So the important thing to note about the caches too is you don't move them. They stay where they are. You just swap whatever goods are in there for goods that you've brought. I didn't bring anything with me today except a pen. So if there's something of value or anything cool in the cache, I'll probably be leaving it because I don't have anything to trade for. Yeah, it's a great question. When I say treasure, what do I mean? So when caches are first placed, usually they have some kind of cool loot in them. I've seen caches that have like video games in them with the expectation that because they're a new cache, they'll be found relatively quickly. Video games or some kind of jewelry maybe. I would say nothing extravagant, nothing of crazy value. Way back when they would have like the tradable, super valuable like Pokemon cards. And then as time goes on and you sort of trade, if a cache has been around for a while, you may just find like loose erasers, old bingo chips. It's more about your overall like ability to find caches and navigate and the pride of finding a certain number of caches. Not so much about finding something awesome. You sign the logbook. There's a community of other people who are really into navigating in the outdoors who you can share your stories with. If you hit ! cache count in the chat, Nightbot will tell you my overall number of caches that I've found. I just found my 100th cache on stream, which I was excited about, but I always want to find more. So you go onto the website or onto the app and you log these. And you write a little brief note to the cache owner about the circumstances under which you found the cache. Yeah, 105. Hopefully going for 106 today. I'm going to need to pull out my phone. I'll just pull over here alongside this building and look at my phone. I'll show you what the app looks like. So this is the app, geocaching.com. And this is the map. The snow ones mean you've already gone in, and the green ones mean we're navigating to it. So we're going to this green dot over here. If I click on it, it'll give me the coordinates. Way back when the game first started, you had to navigate using like an old Garmin GPS tracker. Now the GPS technology is integrated into the functionality of the app. Okay, I need to be over a couple streets down. I know where we're going. Sort of. My running joke is this tail of this stream could also be high. Watch me try and read a map. So the size of the caches can vary. It can be as small as a centimeter in diameter, or it could be as large as like an ammo container. They're placed both in the woods and, yeah, I think it's cool. Thanks. They can be as large as an ammo container placed in the woods, or obviously I'm in an urban area today. I'd like to get into more of a woodsy or parky area over the weekend on Saturday or Sunday. No, right now I'm using a selfie stick that just came in yesterday, so I'm still figuring out the functionality of it. It's a self-charging selfie stick with a tripod mount, and my phone is actually strapped to the top of it. Sorry for the sniffling. Sorry, it's a little bit unavoidable. Oh, look at those puddles. That's gross. Yeah, another travel and outdoors streamer recommended this setup to me because it's what he uses. I don't know if you've watched, if you're familiar with Travel and Outdoors section, John Otone, who is a metal detecting streamer. Thanks, Nightbot. Yeah, so I'm trying to get to 50 followers so I can get that affiliate status. We'll see. If you have friends who would be interested, definitely let them know. Yeah, I absolutely adore his content. Talking about John Otone, I believe. I didn't know I was interested in metal detecting until I watched his stream, and now I watch it pretty much every day because it's really cool. I think he's moving his stream a little bit more indoors because he's in upstate New York. So I think they're getting it even worse than we're getting it here in Virginia. I don't know if you're based in the US, but the East Coast is just getting hammered today and tomorrow, and a little bit yesterday too. Sorry about that. Is not doing a lot to block out the cold. Indiana. Nice. I have spent... Oh, an ice storm, jeez. That's never good. Yeah. I've spent a fair amount of time in Indiana, and when I was younger there, like, there would be frequent tornado warnings, which were always a significant bummer. Just having to hide out in the basement. Any TV program you'd be watching would just cut immediately to the news or to an emergency warning. I think it'll be better here this weekend. At least it should be. Hey, Lord Sinclair, what's up? People who don't go geocaching are referred to as muggles, just like non-wizards in Harry Potter are referred to as muggles. Although technically, if you've watched Fantastic Beasts in the US, they're called no mages, but I'll save my Harry Potter knowledge for another day. So it definitely is pretty conspicuous to try and go caching in an urban area. Which is a huge perk to going out in the woods, but I'm going to battle with the army I have today. I happen to be in an urban area, so we're caching in an urban area. Yeah, you'd be a muggle, but technically you know about it, and you're coming out with me, so I don't know if you can call yourself a muggle anymore. Look how gray that sky is. That is rough. Yeah, I think you all probably have a little bit of like a temporary geocacher status. Let's see. Evan RL. Make a quick stop at a gas station. I want water. Yeah, I want hand warmers. I came out with these thinking that they were going to do the trick, and let me tell you, my friends, it's not cutting it. I think Nightbot said it was in the upper 30s for weather. Hey, Captain Howie, how's it going? The fake phone call while urban caching. Yeah, that is really smart. The only downside I will say is the fact that I have my phone currently occupied for streaming, so I can't put the phone up to my head at the moment. Oh, it's good. It's 70 degrees, balmy and sunny here in Northern Virginia, as you can see. Yeah, this is just dreadful weather. So for those of you who haven't seen the stream before, Captain Howie is also an avid geocacher who runs a YouTube channel for geocaching, and I don't know how you feel about this, Captain Howie, but I'm pretty much a rain, snow, sun kind of cacher. I'll go out in any weather, but this is my first time going out in wind, cold, rain, sleet, and snow all at once. Thankfully, we're coming up to our turn. Look at that foliage. It really hung in there through the storm. Yeah, the fake phone call for urban caching works. Also, I'll just maybe try and employ the help of some people, explain to them what geocaching is, and say I'm not a crazy person just trying to feel underneath this bench. You know, this is what geocaching is if you have an interest in maybe helping a sister out. Hey, Boo Lurker, how are you? Oh, cool. All right, so another any weather kind of cacher. Yeah, I grew up in New England, so it's pretty difficult to faze me or deter me from going outside in any kind of weather. I guess maybe a thunderstorm if I'm just going to get drenched. So I think we're actually getting kind of close to where we want to be, which is awesome. So, yeah, it's going to be, if you guys can see, I'll get us closer, but there is a park up here, and this cache is placed in memoriam, which I always think is really nice. It's a Veterans Day cache placed a little before Veterans Day. The difficulty is a 1.5 and the terrain is a 1.5 and the size is small. So we know that there'll probably be some good geo junk in there, especially because the cache was placed about 2 weeks ago. Oh, I really, really, really wanted to log FTF or first to find on this cache, but I figured I'd just wait for the stream. I'm going to cross over. Rule number 1 of urban geocaching: street smarts, you guys, street smarts. Also, I will say, rule number 2, which I think I'm going to move up to my cardinal rule, should really be rule number 1. Don't play with electrical boxes. If you watched one of my streams, it was like a week and a half ago, I was urban caching, and let me just say, there's a reason that don't mess around with electrical boxes is rule number 1 of urban caching. Alright. So this is the park. It's not like a national park or state park like I was in last weekend in Massachusetts. It's more of a kids park, more urban developed park. Captain Howie, getting that white stuff. Yeah. The East Coast is going to get slammed. I don't think I knew that you were in New England. Did I know that? Maybe I didn't. I've just forgotten. But yeah, I've talked to my family up there and they're just hunkering down for more of this, but you'll probably be all snow. We sort of turn into a slushy sleet rain combo. Oh, New Hampshire. Awesome. I love New Hampshire. My goal one day is I'm going to retire to Portsmouth. I've done a fair amount of caching in New Hampshire too. At some point I'll have to connect with you offline about what your username is on the site so I can friend you. Yeah, Portsmouth is beautiful. I love the summer concert series they have. Oh, I'm going to show over here. Alright, so I'm going to pull up some navigation. We're really, really close. It looks like it's almost in the center of the cache. Sorry, center of the park. In the middle of a parking lot, if that makes any sense. I mean, I guess, whatever floats your boat. There's no hint, so I'm definitely going to call on those of you who are lurking in chat for a little bit of assistance if you see anything out of place. But I'll let you know when we're there. Yeah, there's no information about the cache other than the size, the difficulty and terrain, which is 1.5 or 1.5. So we know it's not wheelchair accessible, but it looks like it's been placed in the middle of the parking lot. Okay. It looks like directly in there. That's not the parking lot, but I'm going to trust my coordinates. I'm actually going to head in using the road down here. So we're within 100 feet, and my general rule, this comes from the old Garmin tracking device days, is usually when you're within 100 feet of the coordinates, you can start using your own eyes to look for things that might be out of place. I don't know, Captain Howie, if you use a similar rule, or if you use coordinates at all. Everybody caches just a little bit differently. All right, we're getting close according to the app. Okay, I think if I were a cache owner, this is exactly where I would place a cache. Look at this little rock garden area. So, no time like the present. Let's just start looking around. Is there... So that rock kind of looked out of place to me, but it looks like there's just a puddle underneath there. I think if there are any rocks that are kind of out of place or any bricks out of place, like this rock looks a little bit. But see, it's just water under there. Oh, it's so cold. Thanks, Nightbot. I wish I had my real gloves with me. That was short-sighted on my part. But as Captain Howie, I'm sure, can attest, us New Englanders, we don't fear any wet or snow. So, start looking over here. This was found recently, so we know it's still here. It was only placed 2 weeks ago. I'm going to pull out my coordinates in a second again. See, this kind of looks like a perfect place for it. To just place it underneath one of these rocks. Whoops. Sorry about that. Still figuring out the new selfie stick. Oh. There's a... I won't show you guys, but I just came across a dead rodent of some kind, so I'm not going to show that on stream, but that bums me out. Don't necessarily like the weather, but we're not afraid of it. That is right. I feel the same way about the Yankees. Little baseball banter. That's what I'm here for. Okay, gotta pull out those coordinates again. This is where a hint would be really helpful, but I can also peruse the past activity logs from past users and see if they give any helpful data. I may also be a little bit south of it too. Go Sox is right. Do damage. Or damage done, I suppose. Okay. It looks like I may have come in... Yeah, we're within 30 feet, so I hesitate to go too far off of where we are. someone's check out the labyrinth and take the walk for peace and tranquility. So this is the labyrinth, I assume, when it's not snowed over. Yeah, the slush does not help. The conditions under which the cache were placed were completely different from how they are now. I'm happy to look around in this area too and just see maybe it's placed at the base of a tree. No hint is at the cache owner's discretion, but it is a little bit of a bummer. Yeah, because it's so new, only about 3 or 4 users have found it. Yeah, I don't like no hint either. I mean, it doesn't have to give anything away. It doesn't need to say check the big oak tree, but it should at least say something, I think. Like maybe you're off to a rocky start to give the hint about the rocks. I'll check over here again. Any of these places would be great for a small sandwich box, which is a good small container size. Try and change my perspective just a little bit. I think this is a little too far east of where we need to be. Alright, back to coordinates, back to navigating. I'm going to follow them to the letter and see if they lead us right to it. For the first time ever in my coordinate history, we'll see. 14 feet, 11 feet, 10 feet. Perhaps. I do think it is in these rocks here. I just think, what's the rating? It's a 1.5 or 1.5 difficulty over terrain. So we know it's not wheelchair accessible, but I really don't think they accounted for the snow when they placed the cache, and that's okay. Now that I think about it, for the cache I own, I didn't account for that either. So I might call this one a loss for today and come back when it's not snowing. I don't want to log a DNF on it. I might just come back tomorrow because I will be streaming tomorrow. But I need to wait for the snow to melt with a little bit more of the rain before I come back, because I don't have the proper gloves, which was an oversight on my part, and just knowing that a lot of this will melt tomorrow, I think will help. Which is a bummer, undoubtedly, but I'll be back streaming tomorrow at 4, same time as today, and I'll go from there. Could also be by the dead squirrel. I'm not discounting that possibility, but I don't want to show it on stream, and I don't want to go near it just health-wise. Alright, I'm calling this one for right now only because in order to really get in there, I need better gloves than I have on, and I'll be back here tomorrow after a little bit of the snow has melted, so I can kind of get a better angle on it, like the cache owner probably intended. So thanks for those of you who tune in and watch. I can't stop looking for it. It's a problem. It's a compulsion. I'll be streaming again tomorrow at 4, and then this weekend at 10:30, Saturday and Sunday. And I'll be back at this spot, starting my stream probably here so that we can hit up some other caches later in the day, but we can dedicate a little bit more time to this cache in this area in particular. So in summary, found one cache, walked over to this one, a little bit of a hike across an urban area, and we were hunting around for a newly placed cache, but because of this snow that will likely melt by tomorrow, we were sort of thrown off, and my guess is the cache is covered right now. So I'll be back at it tomorrow. I'm gonna end the stream now because my hands are cold, frankly. Quite cold. Alright, throw me a follow for those of you who aren't following me. I greatly appreciate it. Trying to get to 50 followers. And I'll see you tomorrow for more geocaching. Thanks.